So I listened to a video put out by the Friday Morning Nameless YouTube channel called Embracing the Meaning Crisis, in which is part of an audiobook titled The Spirituality of Imperfection. At the end of this clip is the author points at the truth of the paradox of the sinful saint, maybe saintly sinner, and the holy fool. And so I am now okay with identifying as a holy fool and a saintly sinner. I would not have been okay identifying that way yesterday. So the first reason that I easily disregard these kinds of phrases is that paradoxes are contradictory by definition, and I've been trained, and maybe like our culture has been trained to disregard contradictions or paradoxes. The second reason I tend to disregard these is because I can be tempted to believe I am a holy saint, even subconsciously. And so I wanted to respond to that video, and I wanted to share truth. And so I remembered when I was a fool and when I was a sinner, because there are things in my past that I regret. And so the truth is that I am a vessel, like I am a human. This body is a vessel which can become possessed by spirits. And so every time I did something I regret, I essentially lost control to some spirit. And so if that is who I am, then maybe that's who all humans are. And maybe that's who I am now, right? It's not just that that's who I was, that I was a fool and a sinner. It's that I was and I am and always will be, right? There is always the potential, right? And, our susceptibility to being possessed by an unholy spirit depends on the situation, because some situations are more challenging than others. And so if you go through life without any challenging situations, it may seem that you are a holy saint. But it would be good to remember that our potential for being destructive and violent and causing harm, and how that depends on the situation, and it depends on our ignorance of our own capacity for evil. So I have for a long time been attempting to remember the good and try to embody the good in life, but I have been ignoring remembering the bad and the potential for me to do the bad. And I'm hoping that as I practice remembering the good, my potential for the good and the bad, when I experience challenging situations, I will be better prepared to defend against the bad, unholy spirit, which will tend toward wrong being. So this is all connected to my recent dream where I met the ruler of this world, who is deceptive and self-interested and controlling. And when I went to the throne room of the ruler of this world, I was surprised by my inability to defend against the ruler of this world's ability to inject thoughts into my mind. And so that's connected. And then I've been listening to the Maps of Meaning audiobook by Jordan Peterson, and I'm remembering how it was an eye-opening experience for Jordan Peterson to realize his own potential to cause harm, because he asked himself, how could someone be a Nazi and do those things? And he had never explored his own potential to do terrible things. And so that's why I'm okay identifying as a holy fool and a saintly sinner, because I am but a vessel with potential, the potential for being these things at any time. And my hope is that if I remember my potential for being these things, I can maybe avoid causing harm and suffering and destruction and violence. And that's the hope. So thank you for the video, Chad. And I hope you all are doing well.